What's up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. I want to shout out to my homie Kofi from Kofi's Universe. Y'all make sure to subscribe to his channel and support everything he got going on because he be dropping that knowledge. Yeah!
Nas or GZA?
In which way? No, they're both very powerful brothers, right? But look, for MCing, my favorite best MC is the GZA.
Okay.
I don't think no MC could beat the GZA. I think what GZA have written for hip hop, no other MC compare. Even if you go to Rakim, who is one of the greatest, right? And most people, he is the greatest. And Nas is most people is the greatest, right? If I go back and I look at what GZA offered to hip hop, right? And then look at what GZA spawned, right? GZA spawned me. Dirty, Meth, Ray, Ghost. These are all from GZA is the enlightener.
Wow.
And you go get all your top MCs. I'm saying this with a little ego on my back for it. Ego won't get it, it won't leave. Nah, G. What the Wu offer lyrically, right, is actually no one has mastered yet.
All right, y'all. RZA shared his thoughts about GZA is a better MC than anyone else in the game, and that's including Nas and Rakim. You heard the clip. That's from Drink Champs podcast. Check out RZA interview. It's like 4 hours. I'm like halfway through the interview. I had to take a break to take care of some business. But if you're new to my channel, thumbs up the video. Hit that sub button. Click that bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. Okay, I love the GZA. The GZA, his second album, Liquid Swords, that came out November 7th, 1995, is a classic. It's one of RZA's best albums, arguably his best album by far that he produced. I'm saying, I mean, some people are going to argue only built for Cuban links, but GZA, his sword play, which means his wordplay, is surreal. You know, it don't get no better than that when it comes to lyricism. Let's take the God MC Rakim. The God MC Rakim birthed so many MCs like a Nas, like the Biggie Smalls, like the Big Puns, the Corrupts, you know, the Razzcast. There's a lot of MCs out there that Rakim birthed. You know, people looked up to Rakim. Even Master Killer talked about that, how he honored Rakim. You know, look at Redman. You know, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, you have other MCs like Buckshot from Black Moon. Think about Royce the 5'9". Think about the best lyricists of all time. You know, the Big Puns. I mean, I know he said he honored Coogee Rap too. Don't get me wrong, but Rakim was doing it way before with Eric being Rakim. So even Nas, like I said, he got some of his style from Rakim. But Nas, you know, he was a young man, a child coming into the hip hop game, and he did so many great things for hip hop, especially in '94, Illmatic. When he dropped that album came at a time when you had Mobb D wasn't out at that time as far as like the infamous album. No, you had Wu-Tang, you had Outkast already out, you had Snoop Dogg out, you had the Ghetto Boys was out already. You had EPMD. You had LL Cool J. You had Slick Rick already. Slick Rick was already going. Excuse me. You had Eric B and Rakim. You had Leaders of the New School. You know, there was so many groups and so many solo artists doing their thing that Nas came in and made a major impact. GZA, he is the head of Wu-Tang as far as like when he lyrically helped cultivate everybody. Like, you know, GZA is RZA and ODB May He Rise in Power's cousin. And he was rapping before them. As far as like he always took it to another level. So when Method Man, Ray Ghost, Spectre Deck, Master Killer, Capadonna, You God, when all them was coming around, were they rhyming already? Yes. But GZA was like a mentor. Remember, he dropped his first album, Words of a Genius, in '91, but you know, Chiller didn't really do nothing over there. So he was the genius at that time, but came back as the GZA with Liquid Swords, and he tightened up everything, and it became a classic masterpiece. It finally had went platinum after like 20 years, like in 2014, 15. But is GZA the best MC of all time? I mean, RZA will say that because that's his cousin. And I ain't mad at that he's going to actually be biased towards his cousin. But I respect it though because he's looking at what GZA has gave to hip hop. So he's trying to say like GZA helped all these MCs as far as in the group Wu-Tang. But who did Nas help? I mean, Nas probably helped other MCs and helped birth them too. Not like on a level as GZA, but I know he had an influence with other MCs that came along, through Queensbridge. And there's other artists like Lupe Fiasco, J.Cole, Kendrick Lamar that, they listen to Nas. And there's other people out there that respect Nas and they say, wow, this guy, is dope as hell. And there's people even in the 90s that knew how tight Nas was. There's people even in his age bracket or older, they gave Nas his respect and flowers. They felt like, this young man is our professor. Rakim, like I said, he has classic albums with Eric B. His solo albums after, when he went solo after Eric B, they're dope. Don't get me wrong. The God MC, people just sleep on him. I just feel like sometimes he don't get enough flowers. But who was my favorite MC out of Rakim, Jizz, and Nas? I feel like there's a category for each. Like GZA, maybe if it comes to like the wordplay, as far as lyricism, and really, just being a mastermind, a chess guru on a mic, I'm gonna go with GZA. When it comes to maybe storytelling, when it comes to like being a street poet, you know, a great historian, as far as like on the microphone and the word, his pen is very swift. Nas, Rakim, he's an originator. That's why they call him the God MC. He birthed a lot of things in hip hop. So you got to put him in his own category. I don't want to even compare Nas together or Rakim with GZA. But everybody has their own pros of what we love about them. And there's some things that we probably dislike. Maybe like GZA didn't put out enough classic albums like Liquid Swords. Nas, some people felt that he fell off after Nostradamus, but he redeemed himself with Still Stillmatic and so on. And maybe felt like his beat selection was garbage. When you look at Rakim, you know, he was doing his thing, don't get me wrong, but some people felt that Rakim kind of somehow lost the step. This is what people said when he went solo and he didn't put out his album with Dr. Dre at that time on Aftermath. Remember, he left that situation, but neither there. His name is on his name is cemented in hip hop. He's on the Mount Rushmore, the Mount Kilimanjaro. But let me know what you think about what RZA said. Do you feel GZA is the best MC of all time out of all the MCs? And it don't have to be Nas or Rakim, or who do you have? Post your comments below. Poke smash Black Panther the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. If you want to support, donate to the channel, I have Patreon. Patreon.com/Kofi Universe. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, everything's in the description. Until next time, salute.